Microsoft came out and announced, it's reportedly announced that for the Game Pass, it's going to have EA Play, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 8 Remastered, and all types of other games with it, along with a 30-day trial of Disney Plus. So we're seeing that with games, it seems like we're slowly transitioning to that subscription-based plan that Netflix made popular. So how do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like it's a good thing that gaming is going that way? You pay a fee a month and you get all these games. And it seems like Sony is still trying to hold on to that old, just buy the game, buy the games you want. They're all $60, they're all full price, whatever. So how do you guys feel about it?
All right, so with the Disney Plus thing, it's giving you what 30 days free, right? With the Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass. Um, Honestly, to me, what this kind of saying is, right now we don't have anything exclusive worth playing, so we're just gonna like kind of buddy you up with a little extra something with the Game Pass. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Game Pass having access to that is pretty dope, but we've just been at the onset of a new console generation. The new consoles have literally just been released. And my thing is, it's definitely moving toward like the whole Netflix type streaming service with games. It's getting more like that every day, every console generation. And it probably eventually will just be that in the future. Like the next consoles may just be like a streaming service for the games. But at the same time, with that being said, gaming consoles is about gaming, having good games to play. And I've said this before, with PlayStation being like, okay, we're gonna make these games. We're not necessarily about a service. We're gonna make these good, solid games. I'm still on Sony's side with the way they're doing things because it's like when a new console comes out, you want to see what those new consoles can do with those new games and the new hardware. I'm not really concerned about seeing what my new console can do with older games that I could play on an older system, right? You can like play games and it's gonna like increase the resolution and all this stuff. They're gonna run faster to higher FPS, but it's like I want to see some new content for these original consoles. So me, I'm more on the side of like making good games coming out like from the onset. And right now, honestly, I can't. There's not. I don't think not one Xbox exclusive game that I would want to play. I don't even really know if there are any. Like there's a few like uh what's this game called the Eagle Tier or something like that. That looks kind of cool, but in comparison to like what I know is coming out on PlayStation, even now with Demon Souls and Spider-Man, it's like I'm if I had to choose, I'm definitely going to choose those two games over Game Pass, even though it's like, yeah, this is a Netflix type library of games, but it's like these are two games that are actually showing off what the new consoles can do, not just rehashing things from the older systems. I mean, again, it's nice to have, but I think when it comes to like that Netflix type service for games, I kind of feel like that's more of a supplement thing. Like that's for a side an addition, but you got to have like the meat and bones first, and then give me that like with PlayStation 40, they did PS Now. You can go back play a whole library of games, but they also have like the other exclusives and stuff. That's like the real meat and potatoes of their console. Again, I want Xbox to succeed. I just need to see some games. That's my only thing when it comes to new consoles. I got to see games. I don't really care about a Netflix type service, even though it seems things are going that direction. I just want some games. You know, give me a whole library, but it's like I can play this stuff elsewhere.
Um, and from in my opinion, I think that I actually I'm kind of on the other side of that. I think that the whole Game Pass idea like is pretty much the wave of the future. Because I mean, uh, on the like having a big library of games, not everybody like wants to pay like because I mean, in order to get those exclusives, number one, you gotta buy the console, which on its own is pretty expensive. Like you already have to buy the console, then you gotta pay not $70 now. Like that's what we're going for, $70 per game. Like that's expensive. I remember back when games were $50, and I thought that was too much. Like I was like, $50 for a game? What are they crazy? But now they want me to pay $70 for one game. You know what I mean? And
Neo Geo was $200.
See, I didn't buy that, so
Games for $200.
See, exactly. That's a. It's like it's expensive. It's expensive to be a gamer right now. It's more expensive. It's getting more and more expensive all the time. And the thing about it is that having access to a bunch of games for what, like maximum like $30 a month, like that. What's that? That's half the cost of a full price game. Like that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Like I said, like EA Play, Disney Plus. I could take or leave it. I mean, it's not like I don't. I want to watch Gargoyles, right? I want to watch Darkwing Duck, but I mean, it's okay. The thing I'm here for are the games, and I'm not necessarily concerned with what generation the games come from, as long as they're good. Because let's be honest, a lot of the exclusives for like the consoles aren't going to come out this year. They're not. They're probably not coming out. Not any of the really good ones. Like they're not coming out till like next year. And like Final Fantasy, the only like PlayStation exclusive that I think I would really want is like Final Fantasy 16, and that's not even exclusive. That's on PC too. So, I mean, you have like the usual suspects, of course, like God of War and stuff. But I mean, after a certain point, I'm just kind of like, man, God of War again? It's like you get to the point where you're like, man, this is starting to feel like Mario. It's like, every console generation we got a new Mario game. Every console generation we got a new God of War game. I'm not saying God of War is bad, but it's like it's getting to that fatigue point. Actually, I'm a little fatigued. So there's that, and then of course, like I said, man, like paying $15 to like $30 a month for a subscription-based service, I don't think it's too bad. Like Xbox definitely needs to work on their exclusives thing. I think I mean, what was the latest exclusive that came out for Xbox? Like that right off the top of my head, I think
Xbox Game Pass.
Gears of War Tactics. Like Gears of War Tactics, like let's be honest, like Game Pass is a lot better than PlayStation Now. It's been better than PlayStation Now for a very, very long time. Like PlayStation Now is just barely becoming adequate. Like, but Game Pass has been good for a hot minute, and so you're adding in like EA Play and all that stuff. You're getting Destiny. So people who really have wanted to play Destiny, especially like the new ones, especially with the new expansion that just came out, get a chance to dip their toes into Destiny 2 and really see what it's all about. And of course, you got Game Pass, and it's not only on just Xbox. You can use it on PC. If you've got like a pretty good PC, you can play a bunch of games on PC and stuff like that. So I think I kind of like the subscription-based service thing. I think PlayStation needs to get their game up as far as like the streaming thing is concerned, because what they were doing before just wasn't that great. Like they're just now kind of getting to the point where they're like, oh, you know what? Maybe that thing that Xbox was doing was pretty good. It's like, oh yeah, man, you probably should have did that about like 5 or 6 years ago. So, I mean, now they're doing it, but it's like they always seem to be, as far as like, I mean, their exclusives are always okay, but as far as like the stuff that like really, in my opinion, kind of matters, like having like good policies, mechanics for the way that your console is in place, they always kind of seem to be be a step behind. It's like, okay, you got they got exclusive games, but I mean, how many exclusives do you have? I mean, you have to have like a whole lot of exclusives. Like there can't be like 3 exclusives and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm definitely going to pay $600 for like 3 games. I'm like, nah, man, like I'm not doing that. That's like, I got to pay for the console and then pay like upwards of like $200 for like some games and stuff like that. I'd rather just buy like an Xbox Series S for like $300 and then pay $35 a month to have a full library of games that I don't even have to like pay full price for.
Of course they would. It's the model that's coming now. Like, bro, Street Fighter 4 had so many costumes. Street Fighter 5 got all these packs and this and costumes and blah, 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 blah. Of course they would. It's a way for them to increase revenue. And I'm speaking not only as a gamer, but I'm speaking as a businessman, right? As a businessman, I've just opened up a new revenue line. I'm still going to make hard games. I'm still going to do this. Oh, I'm going to collab with this company. And then with that, oh, there's going to be a ton of in-game purchases that are going to come from that. Are you serious? As a businessman, all they've done is open up new streams of revenue. Did we pay more in the arcade era? I heard homie make a comment about that. Maybe we did. Do you remember how many dollars and quarters you put in that machine? How long it took you to drive out there? Gas, food, all that stuff. Everything calculates into your experience. So like, I mean, it's wild. But to speak to that alone, I think as a businessman, I understand the need or the reason for it, because you're going to have the customers that are out there that are going to be casual, that are not going to want to take part in the way that we look at things. You need to understand, we're in a think tank right now. Everybody in this room is competitive to some level. No matter what game it is that we express ourselves with, from DBZ to Street Fighter to Tekken to whatever, we all compete. So we look at the mechanics of the equipment and the peripherals and all the other things differently than the layman. The layman might just want to be like, yo, oh, I get to skip through 5 or 6 games, or when I get tired of losing in this game because I don't have that drive. But that dude from Atlanta said, where your car at? You don't got no drive. You know what I mean? Like, where your drive at? So people that's a different customer base that they're pitching their market to. They're pitching their supplies to. And you get Disney Plus. You get to watch Captain America every day if you want to. Darkwing Duck, like you suggested. Yo, what was that name of that the robot that turned into the thing? That it was a stupid one though, like
Gizmo Duck.
Gizmo Duck.
Oh God!
Somebody cosplayed Gizmo Duck, and I posted on my Facebook the other day. Dude was just riding around on the one wheel thing, and he looked just like Gizmo Duck. And all I could think of was, yo, I nearly lost it. It's so many emotions that brought up for me. But the point is, it's the same business model as Amazon. If you pay for Amazon Prime, everybody's like, oh, I got free shipping. No, you don't. You get music, you get books, you get Prime Video, you get all this other discount stuff, you get early buying options. Yeah, all they've done is bundled something. Yeah, you may not get the exclusivity that you are accustomed to from holding that disc, and they still do it for those people that are like that. But I've been watching the market long enough to recognize that it's just a part of the way that people are now. If you buy something like that and you're not financially literate enough, bro, they want that stupid person to buy that thing and forget about it. Oh, I've had this for 5 years. I haven't played a video game on this in forever. Oh, we know. We got our money from you though. Oh, we know. You understand what I'm saying? So like, we were just talking about this off screen. We're built to consume. So what do? I tell you, okay, pay me less, but I got you buying a game every month now. Rather than buying a game and then not buying another one until you beat it. I got you paying into the system every month. And if I can get 1 million people to do that, just on that line alone, come on, man. It's a good move, but it's like I'll close with this, right? What type of person or what type of consumer are you? Are you a leaser or are you a buyer? Are you going to lease your car and turn it in every 2 years? Or are you going to buy your car and run it into the ground and then buy another one? One becomes an asset, one will always be an expense. So you got to, I mean, it's a matter of preference and also understanding the value of money and the value of your own personal time. But yeah, I personally, as a businessman, I'm all for it. I think they should do it because there are going to be people out there, and there's going to be that niche market of this microwave society that we live in that wants stuff right now and want access to it.
Yeah, think of it from a business standpoint too, of just that, you have to look at the market that you're trying to tap into. There's way more of the people who are behind us to come than the ones who are actually like inputting into it right now. And with the way that the world is right now, as far as like consuming stuff and paying for company products, everybody's doing it. I mean, if you can't be just that oddball who's sticking out and making things harder in a system that people are making so much easier. It's like we're not gonna mess with you. Um, if I can watch my movies on a subscription plan, if I can listen to my music on a subscription plan, if I can consume any type of media on a subscription plan or free, but you tell me games that I have to keep paying $60 for, we not finna mess with your industry. And it's just that so many people are doing it. Whether it's right or wrong, you got to look at it from business. Like either we get with it or get lost. That's just how it is. So whether it is a good or a bad decision from a business standpoint, Microsoft's looking at the future and just that everything is like this. We have to like go with the current instead of like trying to swim against it. So it's like either we make it easier for these young people who are coming up and we're trying to get them to play our games more because companies are always trying to get the up and coming to come into my system so I can have you for years to come, like the people that I have right now. Like you have to fit into that mold of that subscription based, platform or service, so that you're not making it harder. People want more for less, and with this system, they think it's more for less. But give them what they want.
Yeah. More for an equitable price. Or whatever that equitable is to you. You know what I mean?
I think personally, the only thing that I think that is going to make a difference with the gaming industry when it comes to like if it fully adapts that model is these like. So I was thinking about this yesterday. What about all the newer games? Like so, Game Pass, that's for every game on there is like stuff that's older, right? So it's like okay, this is just a collection of older stuff that this is nothing new. But what about all the? Is like so is Xbox gonna have all the newer games included in that subscription? Because I wouldn't think that you could play a brand spanking new game that's from the new generation just for a subscription price. Like they're gonna have to knock you out of some extra for that. I would think.
Of course, a premium price.
Yeah,
agreed.
yeah. So I I feel like if they do that, like okay, when this new game comes out, you
Go pick and
you have your
choose.
subscription service, but you're gonna have to pay like a premium for this one or something like this. Because
Mhm.
I just couldn't imagine seeing like let's say Halo Infinite comes out and it's an amazing exclusive game. Like they're not just I don't think they're just gonna let you play that game for just like what $30 a month. Like you're gonna have to come off an extra 20, 30 to play this if you want to play
Actually.
Halo Infinite. And also because like all these games they take so long to develop. I don't know if that would make sense for them. Like, it took so much money and time to develop this game, and we just gonna let you play it for $30 a month with all these other hundreds and hundreds of games. So that's the only thing I'm thinking that they probably gonna have some type of premium price when it comes to like the newer games, like Cyberpunk. Like, is Cyberpunk just gonna come out on Game Pass and this is I can play it for 30, or do I have to pay extra for that?